Hi everyone, welcome to the American Computer Enthusiast Show. My name's Steve Reeves and I'm the host, and I put together a great show. We're going to look at Windows NT, we're going to look at the brand new America Online 3.0, and all kinds of other fun hardware and software. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Hi everyone, welcome to the show. In case you just tuned in, this is the American Computer Enthusiast Show. My name's Steve Reeves and I'm the host. And what I've done is I put together a show, actually a bunch of different things. We're going to take a quick look at the, actually not even released yet software, sort of pre-released beta software of Windows NT 4.0. We're going to look at the new America Online 3.0, the new version of their browser, whatever you want to call it, the 3.0, brand new, hot off the press. And I've got a bunch of different things, websites and video of the week, all types of different things. Before we get going, though, I want to make sure everybody knows how they can get a hold of us. I usually save this for the end, but I want to show it at the beginning and the end, and we'll show it at all the different breaks. My name's Steve Reeves, as you can see right there. The hotline is 587-6949, and you can leave messages on there, what you liked about the show, dislike, what you'd like to see in future shows, any comments or anything else. So give us a call at 587-6949 and leave a message. My email address is sareeves@aol.com. That's through America Online. And then web pages, you can get a hold of us through these different web pages because they have links to our email addresses. And the top one is my web page, which is the http://users.aol.com/sareeves/steve.htm. And then the bottom one is the actual, or the official, I guess it is, ACE page, the one that James he works on, or putting it together. And that has the links to all the different hosts, Carlos, James, me, and all the different people that are involved with the show. So you can either call us on the hotline, email me or any one of the hosts, or get on our web pages and check out what's going on. I try to keep a schedule on what shows are coming up, what shows we've had on before, so you can actually look and see. Like, I put all the links that I show, like web page links and things like that we talk about, and all those links are on my web page. I know that for a fact. All right. The number one question, actually I should have saved this for the end here, but the number one question on email and also on the hotline is, when is this show on? I try to say this every week, but I decided just to put a slide up and make it easy so everyone can see it and write it down. We're on every Sunday at 4 p.m. This is on Channel 19, the Houston Community College Access Channel. But it's on every Sunday at 4 p.m., Wednesdays at 9 p.m., Thursdays at 1 o'clock in the morning. Don't ask me who watches it there. And Saturdays at 8 o'clock p.m. So it's on 4 times a week, and it's the same show repeated 4 times. It's not 4 different shows. So usually the show you see on Sunday will be on the full week. Or if you see on Wednesday, it'll be on Thursday morning and Saturday night, the same identical show. So I hope everybody wrote that down. I'll show it again at the end of the show just so you can see. And it's also on the web pages, so if you have any questions about anything, you can leave a message or whatever. We'll go to the next slide. The next thing is, the last show that I did was on PC communications. I made one mistake, and you'd think I'd ran over somebody's dog or something. We had people that called in and said it's 33.6, not 36.6. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. It's a correction. I put it on my web page and everything as a correction, but the actual speed or the baud rate of the new modems that are out right now are 33.6, not 36.6. I must have mentioned, I know I did because it was on a slide. I typed in the wrong thing. I don't know what was wrong with me. I must have had too much coffee that day or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's 33.6, and they're used a lot for the IRCs and a lot with the U.S. robotics, for example, has the 33.6s, 33.6, not 36.6, 33.6 modems, and they're great for the internet. A lot of people are using for, like I said, for the IRCs and the chats and things like that, the faster modems. So make sure if anybody, you know, went in and went to go buy a modem and said 36.6, and the guy says, you don't know what you're talking about, it was because I said 36.6. It's supposed to be 33.6, all right? All right. What we want to do, I think what I'm going to do is, let's just get out of this real fast and minimize this. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about Windows NT. Now, this is actually a pre-release version that I'm showing, the Beta 2 version. And I'm just going to show some of the highlights. I'm not going to go into everything because it still is beta, but I want to show people just so they can get excited about the new software that's coming out. It probably won't be out for a couple more months, a few more months. I'm not sure exactly when the official release date is, but you can actually get on the Microsoft webpage, and I'll show the address. I have it on here. And you can get on there and you can keep track of what's going on and find out when the release dates are, anything that's coming out, any kind of updates or anything else. I don't know, there's quite a few people I know that have this version, but I thought I would let people see what's going on. So this is actually the first screen that comes up, and one of the brand new things on NT, one of the biggest switches or biggest changes is it now has the Windows 95 user interface. So what I'm going to do, let's go in here. I made a list of all the things that are changed in here. One of them is the Windows 95 user interface is the biggest change of all. The next thing is Internet Explorer 2.0 now comes with it. Maybe by the time it's released, it'll be version 3.0 because I know that they're beta testing the Internet, the Explorer, Microsoft Explorer 3.0. You can now download it from the Microsoft web page. The next thing is Windows Explorer. It now has the same type Explorer, which is real confusing, Internet Explorer, Windows Explorer. I don't know why they didn't call it two different things, but they're pretty similar when you're using them to be able to go and hop around on the Internet. But Windows Explorer is just like, if not exactly like, the Explorer that's in Windows 95. Microsoft Exchange, which is the way to send email and things like that. Hardware profiles, you can now go in and set up. Let me get my little thing here so I can explain some of these things because some of these are a mile long with all these explanations of these different things. But you can go in there under the hardware profiles just like you can in Windows 95. Anyone that had Windows 3.1, Windows NT 3.1, well, the people that will really notice a huge difference. People that have been using Windows 95 won't notice a big, huge difference between Windows 95 and NT. Well, there are some huge differences, but most of them are behind the scenes and having to do with networking and things like that. But they'll be able to look at hardware profiles and change things and look things up and have multiple configurations for different setups for hardware. For example, one thing that I use all the time is the PCMCI. And a lot of times you have multiple PCMCI cards, and when you boot up a computer, you don't want to look for a card that's not in there. So you can have different configurations set up so it automatically looks for the right cards that are in your PC. Also for different printers, all types of different things. If you have a scanner, any kind of device you might have hooked up to your PC. So that's another nice thing. It's also Windows 95, but it's now in Windows NT. Another big thing is the NDS, or this is all network related, Aware client, and also a gateway services for NetWare. If you don't have a Novell network, you probably won't notice this is a big difference. DirectX, it has being able to, it's sort of like X Windows or whatever, but what it is, it allows programs between different platforms to talk. So if you have a RISC-based system running NT, or you have a PC running NT, the software and the files and things are all translatable back and forth. Peer web services. It's just like a Windows 95 sort of a network, but you can actually have like an intranet sort of setup between your peer-to-peer web services, and also log on using dial-up networking. This is also a real important thing for people that have an NT network, for example, running NT the server side, being able to call in from the outside remotely and logging into the NT server or a client or whatever, and logging onto a client through the server, so that you can actually get on your own PC or whatever. Now you don't have to, it's actually built in, so you don't have to buy add-on software. So things like, there may be some advantages to different people that have written other software like PC Anywhere and different software like that, remote software, but this is built into the NT client, and the NT server. So that's another pretty slick add-on right there. But the biggest change that everyone will be happy with, if you've ever used NT for any kind of anything, on your PC or your notebook or whatever, is the Windows 95 user interface. So one big thing that everyone wants to know, and I know you can't read this, so I'll just read it out loud. Yeah, you can probably read that, can't you? Don't even show the screen. You can just look at me and I'll read this. Right? One of the big questions is, what do you need to run this software, the NT client? We actually have the NT, it's the workstation is what they're calling it, NT workstation. It comes on a CD. It's the only way you can get it right now. Probably the only way you'll ever get it, because if you don't, most every computer now has a CD. It requires I'm just going to read it off the screen here so you can see what's going on. Because you can't see what's going on. An Intel 46, 25 or higher, so it does not run on a 386. Intel Pentium is recommended, of course. It also supports RISC-based microprocessors such as MIPS, the R4X100, or 4000, I'm sorry. Digital Alpha or the Power PC. There's different platforms. Actually, when you buy NT, the CD comes with all those platforms on the same CD, and you just pick which one you're going to use. It's actually pretty cool the way they've done it. Actually, NT's been that way for a while. When you buy it, you actually, all the different directories are on, like, on the CD, like i386. Don't ask me why they say i386, since it doesn't work on a 386, but they ought to make it i486. Also, VGA or higher resolution, of course, a monitor. Also, a hard drive, one or more hard drives, but with a minimum of 117 megabytes of disk space, free disk space. And that's on an Intel, and 124 for a RISC-based system. That's pretty much, it requires either a CD-ROM for one thing, and also if you need to make backup or, what do you want to call it, startup disks, I guess it is. That's what I guess they're calling them, startup disks. You'll need a 3.5-inch floppy. Now that's sort of a problem on this computer, which I'll talk about in just a second, because you have a choice of either a CD-ROM or a disk drive, because you flip and flop them out of here, they just come right out. So what you have to do is load it from the CD and then make a startup disk after you do it, and take out the CD-ROM and put the disk in, so you can put a 3.5-inch disk in and then make that your startup disk. You can't do it in the beginning, because of course once you take the CD-ROM out and put the disk drive in, it can't read off the CD-ROM. Does that all make sense? Well, it'll be a test after this is all finished, right? And then you need 12 megabytes minimum RAM, 16 preferable. And a mouse, of course, or any pointing device. A mouse is probably one of the best. And that's pretty much it. So it's pretty much the same requirements as 95, just beefed up a little bit more. Like I said, the minimum 12, and of course 95 will work on 4. Don't run it on 4 megabytes. But this requires 12 minimum, preferably 16. It requires actually quite a bit more disk space, hard drive space. It's like 100, when I say 117, let's round it off to 120. But 120 megabytes of hard drive space free. All right? So what I'm going to do before I go any further is talk about this PC. This PC was loaned to me by TI. We've actually had TI before. They've been on the show before, and I use the little, what do you call it, little organizer. I use mine all the time, the little TI organizer. But this is a TI Extensa 560 CDT. The reason it's a CD, CD's in the side here. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I can show this or not, but this actually pops right out. CD, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. All right, CD pops in right like that, and you can actually remove this. There's a little button on the side, and you pull it out, and you can actually put in a 3.5-inch disk drive in the same space. So you can, take them back and forth. I don't want to take this in. I just started, when I put that CD in there, it started up the screen there. All right, so you can put in a 3.5-inch floppy or disk drive, or a CD-ROM. Another thing is this one actually, it goes up to 800 by 600 resolution. It has a 1 gig hard drive. This one actually has 24 megs of RAM. It can be beefed up to, I don't even know what the limit is, but it also has an active matrix screen. Big advantage if you're using it. It's crystal clear looking at it. Now right now, this is kind of a strange setup. I don't know if people can see what I'm looking at here, but we had a little problem with the little box over here that would go through to the monitor. So we had to hook up an external monitor because it wouldn't show up on the screen and through the box and everything else. So there's not usually a monitor sitting in front of a notebook computer. But anyway, but this will go 800 by 600. It has a microphone, it has a sound card built in, it has speakers right above the monitor here. It's got the little, I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll try to hold this up. It's got the little finger doohickey thing here, little finger pad, little mouse pad, and little buttons here. But I have a mouse hooked up just because I'm a little more used to the mouse than I am the thing here. Now some people get used to it and they like it. I just am used to the mouse, I guess. If I used it every day, all the time, I'd probably use this because you can do it pretty fast with your thumbs and then hit the little buttons with your thumbs, but I just like the mouse. I'm that kind of a guy, you know. Anyway, so that's a little bit about the computer. It has same thing, serial ports, video cards, PCMCI slots on the side here, removable hard drive. It's got the little infrared little eyeball in the back here, so it'll go to an infrared device like a printer or whatever, any kind of network thing that, like for example, the HP infrared network connection we showed a couple shows ago. And also, like we said, the PCMCI can be used for multiple different things, modems, network cards, whatever you might have if you don't have an infrared, for example. It also has a battery that seems to last a long time too, because by mistake one time I thought I had it plugged in and I didn't, and I was just working along and all of a sudden I noticed that the battery was blinking. I don't even know how long I was working, but the batteries last a long time on these. The new notebooks are unbelievable, the new batteries. So I don't know the exact price or anything on this, but this is a pretty slick machine, and NT works on it. There's a CD that comes with it, actually has a list of all the devices that are supported, and there must be, I don't know, hundreds of them, every computer known to man. Now this one was not on there, but I guess it's because they can't test every single computer there is. But now I'm actually going to write in, there's actually a web page and a news group out there, an NT news group, that you can leave comments on questions, answers, bugs you might have found. I haven't had many problems at all loading anything up, software or anything else. But I'm going to write on there that I can truly say that this computer works fine with NT 4.0, the Beta 2 version. But this is the TI Extensa 560 CDT. And it is a Pentium, I don't know if I mentioned, it's a Pentium 75. And I think there's a new version coming out that's going to be faster, but this is a pretty good machine right here. They're telling me I need to take a quick break, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. In case you just tuned in, like I always say, this is the American Computer Enthusiast Show. My name is Steve Reeves, and we're taking a look at a number of different things here. We've taken a look at this TI notebook here, the TI Extensa 560 CDT. We're taking a look at Windows NT Workstation. This is the workstation, not the server side. This is the workstation side that works on a PC. 4.0, it's actually the Beta 2 version 4.0. I'm just kind of showing the highlights. I'm not going to show everything because it's not officially out yet. I just want to get people excited about new things that are coming out. And then we're going to take a look, and we're going to log on to America Online and show the brand new 3.0 version that people can download. Actually, I think it's only been out there a couple of days, but I've been playing around with that, and we loaded it up. Actually, we loaded it up on NT, so that's another thing. We can say the America Online 3.0 works fine on NT. All right, let's take a look at the screen here. just so people can see what I'm talking about when it comes to NT. Now, everything looks pretty much the same as 95, but there's some new things. Well, if you go to just My Computer, for example, and double-click on that, everything looks the same except there's it's got the dial-up networking where just because I was trying to hook up and to the Microsoft network, which I have a subscription to, but we're not going to show that right now. All right? Network neighborhood, I don't hook up to a network, so there's nothing there. Inbox, if you're using Microsoft Exchange, this is where your mail would come in, where you could send mail, where you would actually get your mail so you can read it from people from outside, the email and things like that. Internet Explorer is where you go in there, and I'm not hooked up right now, but we'll just connect here, and it's just Microsoft's 2.0. It's their version of, or it's their browser. So this actually is version 2.0. I'm not hooked up right now through my provider, so I'm just going to show the screen. But it's got, we've actually used this before on the show, but it has all the open and close and home and all the little icons and the little Windows flag or window flag, or you want to call it, with waves, so you can know, so you know that when you're connected, it'll do that. You can save favorite places. They've added some new things to version 2.0. 3.0 is even cooler. I guess we'll have to show that in the next show. The new beta version that you can download from Microsoft. But this, yes, favorites and things like that. There were a few things that were missing on the first version, but now they've added a lot of those things. Recycle bins, same thing as it was before, where you can go in there and get rid of things and save files, just like the undeletes, because there really is no undelete command on NT or 95. So you can go in here and you can send things to the recycle bin before, and then you can empty the recycle bin before you, or you can do that after or before you make sure that you really want to get rid of a file. So we'll just close that. Briefcase, same as it was on the on 95, where you can go in there and if you want to sync two computers together, like you have a computer at home and a computer at your office, you can actually put things in the briefcase, take it home, take it and copy that briefcase over to your home PC, and then all your files will be synced up. It'll actually tell you that one file is newer than the other one or older than the other one. Ask if you want it, which one you want it to be the most current, or do you want to overwrite the old version with the new version. People that use this think it's pretty slick. A lot of people don't even realize what it really is for, but that's what it's for. It's actually to keep your files synced in two different computers, or multiple computers if you have multiple computers, like me, because I am a nerd, you know. We'll just get out of that. And then I have the America Online, which we'll get on in just a minute. But we'll go down here, and there's some other things, like when you go to Programs, for example, and you go down here to Accessories, it's all the same things. There's Games, you know, all the same games, Minesweeper, Pinball. Pinball is actually on if you get Microsoft Windows 95 Plus, that's actually a pretty cool game. It's pretty realistic. I like to play it all the time. And you can do it with just with a keyboard. Also Solitaire, which has been there forever. Multimedia, it supports all the same, pretty much all the same hardware that Windows 95 does. So if you have something that works on 95, it's pretty much the same list. I looked at the list and all the same Sound Blasters and, you know, all the Creative Labs devices, the AW 32 and 16, the Sound Blaster 16 and everything else. So all those devices work with NT, shouldn't be any problem. Calculator, all the different programs here, you know, there is one new thing here, imaging, which is sort of the, actually you can bring up and scan things in if you have a scanner connected. It's different software for that. Paint, Dialer, and also WordPad, some of the same identical programs. But if you go here to Programs, you go down to the bottom, you can see there's some new things down here. One big thing is administrative tools. There's Backup, which is more, same thing up here. If you go down to, it used to be up here, it used to be under Tools and things, under Accessories. I can't remember what it was actually under, I forget what it was called, but it used to be up here. But now under Administrative Tools is Backup. It used to be at the top in Windows 95. Disk Administrator, Event Viewer, Performance Monitor. If you go to Performance Monitor, for example, a screen will come up and it'll actually show you a grid so you can see how your computer is actually working. Now this makes a huge difference if you're on the server, so you can actually check and find out how the server is performing. If there's too many people on, you can see how your CPU, if it's maxing out on your server, find out if there's how many people are on there, if you need to buy a bigger server or multiple CPUs or whatever. So we'll just get out of that. So again, NT is made a lot more, mostly I would say, for networking things. We have a NT network, quite a few NT networks at BMC, that's where I work, but it's real clean, simple to use, same interface as Windows, so it's real easy to do all the administrative type things. There's also remote access administrator, user manager, and diagnostics. If you go to diagnostics, for example, it's the same type screen as it was in Windows 95, but they've added a few things. For example, you can go to the version. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. This is actually, if you go up here on 95 and you right-clicked on My Computer and hit Properties, this is what came up. But this has some more things. System. You can go in here and check out. It actually goes like one step deeper than Windows 95. It's a little more technical, so you can go in there and actually check things out. It'll tell you everything you want, probably more than you ever want to know. You can go in there and check out all about your display drives. Tells you everything about all the different devices that are connected. Memory. Now, a lot of the same things were in Windows 95 or are in Windows 95, but they don't show you as much. There might be ways to find out this information or other software, but it's all built into NT. Services, you can go in there and actually find out what's going on, if it's running or it's stopped or whatever. Resources, you can find out about the different IRQs. It'll instantly tell you the IRQ and what it's set or what's connected to that, like IRQ 3 is your serial port, 4 is your serial port, 6 is your floppy. So you can easily see what's going on. It's an ESA or an ISA or whatever type device it is. Also the environment. It'll actually show you where everything's loading from, where the different software and things that are in Windows NT are coming from. You can also see, down in your bottom, you can see it's a local user, or you'd see, if you were the administrator, you could actually see you could log on and find out what's going on the network also. You can also print this out, but we're not going to show that right now. Also under Start, if you go down here to Programs again, User Manager, Performance Monitor, Event. Let's go to the Disk Administrator here. Let's find out real fast. It should come up, and it'll actually show you information about our disk. Now you can see right now I've got D drive is the CD-ROM, of course, down here, and the C drive is broken into a couple different things. I have a FAT table, and then there's some unknown here, and then free space. I don't have much free space, do I? But this is a 1.1. It's actually 1,160 megabytes. But you can see I've got this in a FAT table. You have choice of FAT or NTFS. NTFS is probably the preferable NT if you're going to just have NT and not have anything else. I have this dual boot, so I can go into Windows 95 or Windows NT. I can go back and forth. When it boots up, it actually gives you a menu of 3 different choices. Windows NT in regular mode, like 800 by 600, NT in VGA mode, which is 640 by 480, or Windows 95. So you have a choice of 3 different things. So if you have something that may not work correctly, although I found just about everything works fine with Windows NT, everything that I've loaded so far, Office 95 Professional, America Online, all the different software that I've loaded, I'm going to try everything out and see what happens. But there's also a list on this CD, and there's a README file that's got a bunch of different things, a bunch of different software programs that there might be some little problems, but it has fixes for almost everything. And what happens is you can go in there and just, if there's a workaround or something like that, I'm sure most of the things will be fixed in the final release, or people will come out with NT versions of different software packages, but most of the fixes are real simple. It'll just tell you that something will happen, ignore it, or whatever when you're installing, but it's pretty simple. And every so often there may be some little problem with it doesn't put the icon in the right startup, the startup icon or whatever, but it's easy just to copy it over. It's no big deal. All right? So this shows you a little bit about the hard drive. Oh, but I was telling you the NTFS, the NT file structure, I guess is what it is probably the preferable way if you're going to set up an NT only. FAT is if you're going to have both NT and 95, so you can have both different operating systems on the hard drive. So most people, not most people, probably everybody that has an NT server sets up their drive as an NTFS protocol or whatever you want to call it. So it's 100% NT. All right? We can get out of that. what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple different things here on the screen. But for the most part is, if you go in here, I've got Windows, Word, for example. We'll go into here to Word. And you can see there's no problem. This is just the Windows 95 version 7.0. It'll come up, and everything works great. If it works in 95, it'll work in NT, I've found so far. There may be, like I said, some little quirks and things with some software programs, but I haven't had any major problems. The toolbar still works across the top, with Microsoft Word. I've got Excel on here, PowerPoint, Schedule Plus, Access, little icons for all the different things here. Everything works fine. So we'll just file exit out of here, and we'll go down here to Settings. You can go to Control Panel. There's a few new things in Control Panel also. We'll come up here real fast. It's just doing a search real fast of what's available on this drive in Control Panel. We'll pull this down, and you can see it still has accessibility options, add, remove programs, Microsoft, DOS, believe it or not. You can still go to DOS in Windows NT. DOS will never go away. It's always going to be around. And that's, I'm sure, available. That's on there for multiple reasons. One, so you just like to type things and you don't like Windows for some reason. Or certain games. Or there might be some programming you might have that's not available in Windows for some reason. There's different things that are only available in DOS or only don't have a Windows interface. There's date and time, devices. Devices is a lot like adding and removing hardware devices. It's kind of changed the icon around a little bit. Dial-up monitors, so you can find out who's called in and all those things when people call remotely. Display, same thing. If you double-click on here, you can see it looks identical to the Windows 95 version. You can go in there and do the background, change whatever you want. Screensaver. Oh, this is the coolest thing. The coolest thing about Windows NT are the screensavers. It's got all kinds of cool things. Because it's got the OpenGL, I guess it's graphic language. You can see it right there. This is 3D text. We can go in there and change all these things. It's got different settings. We'll change it to be like Seesaw. We'll change it to Wobble. Go to OK. And it actually shows you an example. That's cool. If for no other reason you buy it, just because of the cool screensavers. You can go in here and do settings. You can actually give it a texture. We can go into a texture and add something like, I don't know, let's do Argyle and say open. And now if we go to OK, you can see that thing is now textured in Argyle. I have no idea why you want to do that, but anyway, you can make it pretty cool. It's all user definable. We'll go back to solid color. You can make it bigger or smaller. We can go down here and make the text a little smaller. We can make it real fast. Go to OK. You can see it's gone nuts. Ace has gone nuts in the screen there. Now this is just a screensaver that comes up. We can also go in there and change it to 3D pipes. This is another cool one. You can see it's got three-dimensional pipes as a screensaver. I'm pretty easily amused here. I can watch this screensaver. There's also 3D text, which we were looking at. Where's the other one? 3D flying objects. That's what it was. You can see it's got like a flying window, flying window flag, or whatever you want to call it. We can go in there. There's another cool one, which is the maze, which is all it does is you can actually go through. It actually goes through the maze. Now this is like real time. It's because it's got they call it the OpenGL, the graphic language, and it's pretty cool, isn't it? It kind of makes you sick, but anyway, we'll go over there, and there's also things like if you go up to the top up here, flower box. This is another pretty cool one. It changes from a kind of a molecule-looking thing into like a snowflake type thing, and you can go in there and do settings. You can change this to make it checkerboard, per side, color, smooth, slanted. Complexity is maximum or minimum, smaller, bigger. We'll make it real big here. And we'll make it checkerboard. And we'll go to OK. Now you can see that now that's a checkered board object, whatever that thing is. You can see I just like playing with things. We'll go back to the 3D text here and set, all these things have different settings. And we'll make it, the resolution a little higher, we'll make it a little bit bigger, and we'll make it a little bit smaller, and we'll go over here and just say random. Now it'll just go wherever it feels like, all over the screen. Cool, huh? Appearance, again, you can change the background to whatever you want to, just like you can in Windows 95. This actually, the version that we're looking at actually comes with Plus, so you can stretch the wallpaper to fit the screen. And also settings, you can change the resolution to whatever you want. Actually, this monitor, I mean, this computer will go up to 1280 by 1024 on an external monitor with multiple colors. And you can change the colors to whatever you want. It actually shows you on the screen exactly what you're looking at. Change the display type that you want to use. If you have a different type of monitor, this is just a compact monitor here that we're using. Just happens to be sitting here. And the background, again, you can go in there and change the background to whatever you might want to do for the wallpaper of the screen. So we'll just hit apply, hit OK, and away we go. And then it's got some other things, the mouse, multimedia, network. I forgot internet fonts up here. The 32-bit ODBC, the database types connections, PC cards, the PCMCI cards. If you go in here, it'll automatically tell you that both those are empty. There's 2 slots in here, and both are empty. If not, it would actually tell you what card is in that PCMCI slot. Ports, printers, same type interface as it had for the Windows 95 to add a printer. I don't have any printer hooked up to this right now, so it says nothing. Regional settings, SCSI adapter, if you had a SCSI adapter, server, services, a lot that has this to do with the network, tape devices, sound system, telephony, one of my favorite words, for like answering machines and things that you have. If you have a, like this has a card in there, or you have a fax card that'll actually answer like a answering machine, or a UPS if you have a UPS hooked up. But that's a quick look at the NT 4.0. Now we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to look at America Online 3.0. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. This is the American Computer Enthusiast Show. My name is Steve Reeves, and we're going to go ahead and look at America Online 3.0. Couldn't say what I was thinking there. This is America Online 3.0, brand new, hot off the press. You can actually download it, well, for free, I guess, from America Online. So if you have 2.5 or whatever, you can download this and overwrites your old. There's a setup program and overwrites your old files, maintains all your same settings, so you don't have to re-put in your password and everything else. It automatically saves all your modem settings. Modem, that's short for modem settings, modem. And so everything comes across. So it's real simple. Now what they've done, actually they've done a number of different things. It's actually a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to use. They've made, like for example, you can see right off the bat, the icons that go across the top now have smarts. I don't know if that's a technical term, but I call it smarts. Before, if you'd hit over the top of this, you had no idea what these were. So now you can see when you hit over the top of them, or you don't even just drag over the top, your mouse over the top of that different icon, it actually shows you what it is. Now you can turn that on and turn that off, that smart icon option, under one of the settings across the top. But you can see the first one is mail, says read new mail. You have mail, tells you that you have mail. Actually says that when you come on, too. It's got a compose mail, write, email, and send files. It's got channels. The new little thing that comes up here is now called channels. I guess it's because it's got multiple channels you can go to, and they're going to add more and more. If you go over here down to presenting, for example, that actually show you new channels that are becoming online sooner or later. So pretty soon this screen will be full of all these little icon things that you can actually click on to open things up. Hot says what's hot, new and exciting areas to explore. I don't know if you can read that, that's why I'm reading this. People connection, that's where you can chat with other members. We showed that a couple weeks ago, where you can actually get online with other people, ask them questions and different things about different interests you might have, or you just want to find something out. File search, you can select from thousands of files to download. Stocks and portfolios. You find up-to-date Wall Street information, so you can check on stocks and different things like that. News Today, the 24-hour news source. World Wide Web, where you can connect directly to the internet, and they have their browser, so you can go in there and check things out. You know, if you don't have a provider, so you can actually use America Online's system to go through and to get on the internet. Marketplace, that's where you can do shopping, so you can go in there and you can buy all kinds of different things, everything from CDs to computers to whatever you want to buy, baseball cards, everything. Also, My America Online, you can actually customize America Online to fit your needs. Online clock, tell you how long you've been online, which is important for me because I'm on too long all the time. Print, so you can print out any screen that you might want to have. Personal filing cabinet. You can view your saved email and downloads. Now this is real important because I don't know if anybody else out there uses 2.5. If you delete something by mistake, it's gone. If you delete an email, for example. And it's kind of cumbersome to keep your old mail because it automatically thinks you want to delete it. So when you read something, it automatically checks off delete. Well, you get out, you come back in, it's gone. You got to remember to save as new. Well, now the new version actually has a filing cabinet, so you can save your emails in that filing cabinet. So if you, for some reason, are on the road and you want to just save a file or something and you don't want to print it out because you don't have a printer connected, you can actually just save it in your filing cabinet. So I think that's come from people complaining that their emails and things are disappearing when they get out. They forget to save them as new. And the other problem is when you save as new, next time you come in, it tells you have new mail. It's not. It's old mail that you just saved as new. That's my little pet peeve there. But now it's taken care of. Favorite places. Now this is another thing that was on the old version, but they made it a little easier to do. But what it is if you have places you go over and over and use all the time, you can save them as your favorite places on America Online. And also member services, where you can go in there and find out different things, what your account is, how much money you owe this month, how many hours you've been on already, so you can tell how close you are to your limit. Find out about what's going on with any new things that are coming out from America Online. You have questions or whatever. Also, there's Find. You can find members, files, places, and all types of different things. And also keyword. For example, you could just type in Microsoft, for example, and it would go to the Microsoft page. Or you can type in Creative Labs, and it would go to the Creative Labs homepage, or whatever you might want to do. So if you know your keywords and it's not in your favorite places, this little icon over here for favorite places, you can just type in a keyword. And you can find a lot of different software out there that'll actually give you it'll say, find us on America Online, use keyword whatever. So you can just go to keyword, well, we'll just do it right now. And when you hit keyword, it comes up and it'll ask you to enter the word. So you can go in there and just type whatever you want, or you can just hit search, but we're just going to close it. Also on the channels here, well, we'll go to this pull-down menu. Most of these are the same things. It looks pretty close to 2.5, the older version of America Online, but they've changed a few things. I mean, down here, they've changed a lot. You can go in there and find something, go to software. I don't know if you can read that, but I'm going to read these so you can see what they've done. One of the major things that they've done right off the bat is everything loads faster. The graphics loads 100% faster, maybe even more than that. So one of the most annoying things with America Online, the older version, it was constantly loading artwork. So you'd have to see this little bar going across all the time telling you it was loading artwork, loading artwork, loading artwork. Sometimes it'd go 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times before it would finally come up, and it would show you it finally come up. This loads a lot faster. It's got computers and software. It's got Digital City. If we let's go to computer and software. If we just click on that, it'll load the software. Now what I've got right now is I've got a Hayes 28.8 modem. Just because I said that, it's going a little slow here. But it's mostly because we've got this, well, there it is. You can see it comes up a lot faster than it used to. It's got Software Center, Multimedia Zone, Magazine Rack, support forums for different software, hardware, all different types of things. You can go to Windows or whatever. It actually shows you right here, search for information, interact with the staff, and get support from your PC or Mac. Family computing, company connection. This is where you can go in there and go to Microsoft or whatever you might want to go to what different companies that you want, that you know have a America Online page. The Ziff Davis, those are the people that publish all the different PC magazines. You can go in there and it'll go to, you can download all the files that you see in like PC magazines There's always some section in the back or whatever with this month's favorite downloads. You can go to there and download them. And also consumer electronics. You can see right here, this is it, if you see the screen right here. Get the new America Online 3.0 and discover a brave new world. You can see right there, if you click on that, you can download the new version with the one we're looking at right now. You can also go directly to the web. Actually, this is the marketplace. This is the web. And then online, you can find out about different stocks and things having to do, that are computer related, computer industry related. All right, we'll just close that. You can also just go over here and just click right here. If we click right there, we can add this to our favorite place, because I always go to the computer and software. You go to like, yes, and now it's added to our favorite places. So now if we go to favorite places, for example, there it is, computers and software. So you can see that it automatically adds that page. So now this one's pretty easy because we're not going very far in, but if we had something that we had to go 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 screens deep to find something, and every time we didn't want to have to go through all those screens, you just add it to your favorite place, click it, boom, it comes up. All right? So we'll just close that right there. There's entertainment, there's games, there's health and fitness, the hub. Let's hit the hub. The hub, you can see that this will load up with the software. It actually used to come up with a screen right there, and now this comes up. This is where you can do chatting. It's got feedback. It's got message boards. This has all kinds of wacky stuff. But this is sort of like a place just to get to talk to different people and things like that. So we'll just close that. International internet connection. Just like it was before, we can go out there to the America Online FTP site. You can go to your, if you have your, like me, I have my web page through America Online. You go in there, and that's how you can edit your files or download your files or upload your files to be on your web page. Kids only, learning and culture, lifestyles and interests, marketplace. If you go to marketplace, for example, that's where you can buy things. Actually, online you can buy things, and it'll come up, and there's different specials every day for different, like this right here. There's Avon. Actually, Avon has a web page. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I notice it all the time that on all the commercials. I was watching Ellen the other day, one of my favorite shows, by the way, if not my favorite show. Every single commercial for 30 straight minutes, well, that were on between Ellen, every single commercial that came on had a web page or a website that was on their commercial. It was like Toyota, Avon, everything. Every single commercial that came up had a www, you know, at the bottom of the screen or whatever, had some sort of website. Even Avon has a website. Now, you can go on there, you can find out how to become a Avon dealer or something, how to ring a doorbell or something, I don't know. Anyway, they've got all kinds of different things. You can go in here, you can buy books, computers, automobile services, apparels, gifts, home and garden, all types of different things. We'll just close that. All right? Next thing is music space. You can go in there and download, actually listen to music, look up different new groups and things like that. Newsstand, you can go out there, let's hit newsstand right now. There's also today's news, which will go directly to today's news, but we're going to go to newsstand. Also, people connection, oh, went too fast there. Newsstand, you can go in there and it's got all types of different things. Now you can see, I don't know if anybody else notices, this is a 28.8 modem. This usually would take 10 seconds as opposed to now it takes 2 or 3 seconds to bring up any one of these pages. So they've greatly increased the speed of loading graphics. I don't know what they did, but it's great. I don't know if they compress stuff or whatever they do, but somehow it loads faster. But you can see there's the New York Times crossword puzzle. There's Newsweek, PC World, Consumer Reports, Car and Driver, Windows Magazine, and then all these different magazines that are out there. You can read all these different things. Boating Online, Bicycling Magazine, Car and Driver, Disney Adventures. There's all types of different lots of computer magazines. Longevity Online. I'll be getting that pretty soon because I'm getting old, you know. There's Navy Times, the New Republican, all types of different things. PC Today, PC World, Parenting Online. So America Online is pretty cool. So we'll just get out of that right there. People Connection, like I said, was where you can do all the chatting. This actually, there's hundreds of chat groups. Everything from, computer interest groups to different types of different people and whatever you might want to do. Personal finance, you go out there, and hit the personal finance icon, or whatever you want to call that, page or channel, I guess as they're calling it now, it brings up the personal finance thing. So you can go in there and do home banking, Vanguard online research, quotes and portfolios, company research. If you want to look up some company out there, it'll actually allow you to look something up to see how it works. I mean, how it's, you know, if you need information about a company you may be thinking about investing in or buying stock or whatever, also what's hot. There's all types of different things here also. There's Entrepreneur Zone, there's Fidelity Online, all types of different things. Hoover, company portfolios, Inc. Online. There's a chat. There's also live chats for different things, or charts, also charts, chats, same thing. I'm just kidding. If I could read, I'd be pretty good. Trying to do 2 or 3 different things at once here. Also Worth line and things like that. We'll close that. It's also sports. You can find out real fast about anything you might want to know about any of your teams, if you want to look up the Oilers, if they were playing now, or the Astros or Rockets or whatever, or any sports team, the Bulls, or anything else you might want to look up. Everything is here. Pro football, basketball, baseball, hockey, college football, college basketball, tennis, golf, soccer, more sports. Are there more sports? News, scores, calendar, sports talk, games, contests, newsstands, shopping, America Online Sports Today, the Internet, connected to the Internet, or what's hot. You can see right here, you can tell when this was, when we taped this show, the Bulls just won last night. They had just won the NBA championship. There's Michael Jordan right there. And so we'll just close that. We'll go back to this. And there's also the Style channel, and then Travel. And you can go in there and you can look up airlines, you can look up reservations, you can find out about bed and breakfast, you can do all kinds of different things under the Travel. And also if you go to this little welcome screen here, we'll come up to this, you can find out what's hot, find out I have mail. It'll bring up a little screen here, it tells me what's going on, 5 million email addresses. Let's delete that one, it's nothing. I get a lot of garbage. If you ever notice, if you get online with some of these things, somehow they get your name and your address, and you get garbage email all the time. A lot of times it'll say, if you don't want to get this anymore, say refuse or whatever, and they'll take you off the list. So if you don't want to get that garbage, you want to make sure you get rid of that. And then you can connect to the Internet, the people connection, and this is what's new. And then if you go to presenting, it'll actually show you, it'll come up here in just a second, what's coming, or what's coming soon, I guess. There's a couple of new channels. There's Hobby Central, Religious Beliefs, Families, and then some new ones here. So let's get out of this real fast, and let's go back to Power. Let me do this real fast. I goofed up there, I'm sorry. Let me minimize this and get out of America Online because I'm paying for this. And let's just exit out of here. And we'll go back to PowerPoint. And we'll go back to the slide viewer. And the first thing we want to look at here is, as soon as it comes up, is the web page of the week. Because we talked about NT, I decided we'd show the Microsoft, www.microsoft.com/NT Workstation. Now this is actually the web page for NT Workstation, where you can find out when it's coming out, what's included on it. So if anything I didn't show, again, I just touched the surface of NT. I just wanted to show people what it looked like and what it was going to look like when it comes out. But if you want to find out more information about NT, go to this web page. So it's www.microsoft.com/NT Workstation. Or you can just go directly to the www.microsoft.com and go to whatever you want. If you want to find out about Windows 95 or Explorer or whatever you might want to do there. The next one, this is an important one. It seems like more and more, all of a sudden, viruses are everywhere on people's computers. McAfee is probably the de facto or the standard now for virus detection, and they have software for all the different platforms, everything from Windows 3.1, 95, NT. I'm sure they'll have an NT 4.0 version and whatever. So you want to go to www.mcafee.com and you can download a trial version. All right. Next thing is hardware of the week. I'm showing this real fast because on the next show, hopefully on the next show, we'll have this. This is the U.S. Robotics, the Pilot 1000. This is the coolest little thing. It's been in all the magazines. But what it is a little device that sits, a little organizer device that sits next to your computer, and you can enter all information, dates and names and addresses and everything else, and it syncs automatically to keep the most updated thing on your PC. And then video of the week. I don't know if I can show this real fast. This is videos that I've been watching, the Keystone videos. They're in the back of all the PC magazines, and I'll show the phone number here real fast. And this will be on my web page. But if you want to look at any of these videos, they're great videos on everything from Windows, NT, Visual Basic, for example, this one here, whatever. And but that's the 800 number right there. Okay, they're telling me I need to wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for watching the show. This has been the American Computer Enthusiast Show. My name's Steve Reeves, and we'll see you next week.